Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. My name is Sonia Siddiqui, and joining us today is Gia. Hi, Gia. Gia, you're muted.
Hi everyone. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, before I hand it over to Gia, who's going to do a great job today, I've been looking at her presentation, and it's very interactive, so I'm super excited about that. And this webinar is a little bit longer than usual because there's a lot of interactivity, so I'm looking forward to that. Before we get started, I just want to make sure that everyone is properly connected. Please note that you are all in listen-only mode, so we won't be able to hear you. But we will be taking your questions towards the end of the session, and for that, please type in your questions in the Q&A tab towards the end of the presentation so that Gia can answer your questions. But there will be a lot of interactivity throughout, so we'll be telling you where to interact. And for best results, please use a laptop or a desktop computer using Google Chrome as your browser. If you have any issues connecting, a lot of times it's better to just get out of this and then log back in, and it should be okay. And there is a survey at the end of the webinar. Please do complete it. And if you would like to watch a recording, you will get a recording within a few hours after the webinar. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about ACCESS. We've been around for over 30 years, helping job seekers such as yourself. And just in the past year alone, we were able to serve over 34,000 job seekers. We work with over 2,200 employers and sponsors and different organizations and community partnerships that we have. RBC being one of our partners that that do webinars with us on a monthly basis. They help our programs as well. And we've got 7 locations in the GTA with our newest location in Newmarket. And RBC is actually partnered at our Markham location as well. We've got, everything is online right now. So if you are interested in taking a program, a bridging program that we have, we've got over 30 tailored programs, which include our sector-specific bridging programs. So if you are interested, this is the best time to actually take it because you don't have to commute into the office. I know a lot of people would have to commute, let's say, somewhere from Scarborough all the way to Mississauga. You can just do it from the comfort of your own home now. So I'll tell you more about it towards the after the presentation. And for now, I'm going to hand things over to our lovely host, Gia. So Gia, I'm going to make you presenter and you can share your screen.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sonia, for that introduction. And good morning and welcome to everyone. I hope you're all doing well and you're staying safe. And I welcome you all to this amazing journey. Hopefully, this presentation helps you across the next step of your career progression. I just wanted to start off with just a brief introduction for myself. So my name is Gia, and I'm a banking advisor at RBC. So I have my own newcomer story. I came to Canada in 2015, and I landed here with the same dreams and aspirations that I'm sure everyone, each and every one of you is looking for in life. And I'm actually from India, so namaste. And yeah, I have been with RBC since 2018, and my progression as a newcomer followed the same path as probably everyone is looking for. I had no Canadian experience, so I mean, there was the learning, and this was the first time that I was integrating myself into the Canadian workforce. So it was more of like research that I did, and obviously I leaned on certain partners. I looked up ACCESS. ACCESS was a bit too far for me at that time to go to, so this is actually a perfect time for you to do any virtual courses. And I looked to do something which is nearer to where I was, and I started off with doing an enhanced language training course. I just wanted to make sure that I had access to the communication skills to fit myself into the workplace. And we had exposure to the Canadian work environment. And then I ended up with an internship at one of the leading banks, BMO. I worked as a customer service representative. It was excellent, no pressure, just learning on the job. And that actually helped me when I went ahead with my interview at RBC. and I've been at RBC for around 2.5 years, and I'm really excited to now talk to people who are similar to me, who have the same dreams and aspirations, and just take them probably one step further into their career discovery, and just together we can go ahead. RBC is specifically invested in creating or letting newcomers and youth be successful. We want to set youth up for success because we feel that youth, and if everyone is successful, it just leads to a more prosperous Canada, and that's what we all want. I mean, there have been concerns about COVID-19 and affecting certain sectors. We can definitely go about, talking about them. The reports have come in. There's been some great bounce backs as well. Some industries have changed irrevocably. But we will go over some of your questions that you want at the end of this presentation. We'll move on to the next one. So, let's go. So, I basically wanted to start off with just talking about the Future Launch. Future Launch is a program at RBC where RBC wants to make sure that we are in your path to success. And we provide youth with all the skills and equipment, so to say, so that you are successful. If everybody just wants to maybe bookmark this site, it's called the RBC Future Launch at Home. And these days, I mean, specifically, RBC did a survey recently, and it was for people who are in the workspace and who are looking for jobs. And certain specific constraints came up in the minds of people, and I'm going to talk about that discussion further on as well. But when we looked at asking people, we did this survey, and we found out that when we surveyed the people, there was a need for different skill sets. So, for example, for me as a banking advisor at RBC, my main day was meeting with clients face to face pre-COVID. Helping them with their banking transactions and helping them achieve their financial goals and do more of a face-to-face conversation. So right away after COVID, everything went digital, 0 to 100 in 1 day. So currently, I am almost doing all my appointments virtually using WebEx, and that was just an upskilling that was required. And these kind of skills are what are going to forge the path ahead. So basically, over the survey, we found out that the skills that are relevant today or will be required in the future are different from what they were in the past, right? Like when we're studying, we're doing certain technologies, things are changing every day, like new technology, C++, was older, now we have Python, we have artificial intelligence. So 33% of the skills that we will require in the future or that are currently in demand are different from what they were a few years ahead, few years before. So that this just shows that times are changing, and we want to make sure that youth are equipped with that. And we want to make sure that they have access to the relevant skills and, just help them along that path. And the next thing, I mean, I know I can't really ask you this question, but I want you to ask this question to yourself. You're actually in Canada right now, or you're coming to Canada, and you've heard about the job market. There are always opportunities for us to, just apply online, maybe, just going to the websites, applying online for jobs. But how much percentage of the jobs, when we did the survey, we asked everyone, people who are in the workforce and people who are now planning to be in the workforce, what percentage of jobs did they feel were filled up by networking? And you would be surprised. I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to pause here. So they actually said 85% of the jobs are actually now being filled up by networking, or they felt that was the case. So networking is an important aspect of your job search and just your career progression. Like even if you are at a specific job and you have other career interests, networking is the way to go. And then when we did like a reality check with the youth, and we found out that 44% of the youth feel prepared for work. The remaining don't feel prepared. They don't feel they have the right skills. They have the right, the access to the right experience. So this is not something that's, alarming. It's actually something where we can find this as an opportunity. So what RBC wants to make sure is that everyone has access to skills. So the RBC Future Launch is actually a great opportunity for you to just go online and just kind of look at how you can update your skills. The best part about this website is that you can actually just put in a lot of information, and it's very intuitive. It'll just predict articles, it'll predict skills for you, it'll give you a list of courses. What I liked here is something called Ripen. Ripen is partnership with colleges. Like I can state one college is the Fanshawe College in Ontario, where they let you do virtual internships. So usually when the no experience, no job cycle, that's what people feel constrained with. There's actually ample opportunities for you to get the experience in Canada, which is relevant. So the Future Launch can actually help you gain financial literacy, which is equally important, have access to different technology, communication, and also networking. Networking is extremely important. How can someone who's landed just in Canada or who is coming over to Canada, how can they have access to networking? So when you go ahead and you're doing specific courses, you can interact with alumni, you can interact with people that are studying with you. That's building a network. So networking is not just having something right away, but in the future as well. You can have access to opportunities at RBC and other institutions as well, where they provide you co-ops or virtual placements. And that's an opportunity for you to network and showcase your skills for the future. So the RBC website, great site to start discussing. And then over the course of the presentation, I'll actually tell you specific ways where RBC can actually help you in your career progression, maybe looking for jobs and just, upping your networking goals. So we'll actually look at a small video right now. This is basically about the skills that we require these days. So see if I can play that.
Heidi, we're not able to hear the video.
Oh, okay. Is it better?
No, we can't hear anything.
Oh, okay. Just give me 1 second. Pause, stop sharing. Okay, was everyone able to go through the video?
That worked.
It worked? Perfect. So basically, when I went over that video, what I found out was that people were not talking about having a linear path in life. They were talking about skills that were transferable. So the entire object of this presentation today is just for you to step back and take this time so that you can be prepared to talk about yourself, your strengths, and your skills. So RBC can equip you and provide you with skills, like you can upskill, you can learn. You would have option to network through various channels, like even through co-ops or placements, or just meeting, interacting with alumni on LinkedIn, just volunteering at virtual events as well. Those would be your opportunities. You could be working as well. But once you're done with all of this and you have a say in front of someone, the recruiter or someone who can help you in your career progression, you need to have a very honest story about yourself. So it's basically what differentiates you from 10 other people. What skills can you bring to the table? So what are the things that make us different? So you would say, haven't we always been what we are? Like, don't we know who we are? Yes, you do know who you are, but you need to put that out in a very positive and a constructive way, so that when you are afforded an opportunity to come in front of maybe someone who can make a change or can make a difference to your career, you're able to speak about your skills and your interests. So we're going to, over the course of the presentation, take time to prepare a sort of a value proposition, or maybe you can even say it's like an elevator pitch. Like, even if you're supposing trying to link to someone in LinkedIn, you do want to have maybe your interest, your skills to stand out, so that you stand out across other people who are also reaching out to that person. So I need you to think deeply about what values, what strengths you have, what's important to you, and how you see yourself. So just as an example, like, we have a client advisor here in our branch. A client advisor is someone who's at the front helping people deposit cash, um, take checks, deposit checks, just help them with the day-to-day banking transactions. She was a party planner in her past. She did events, and drawing on that interest or that skill of hers, she was actually able to use those skills to prepare, tables at RBC. So what we do at RBC, if there is something like Pride Month, there is the diversity and inclusion event, maybe there is something related to a good banking promotion that's happening at RBC, we prepare a table. It's actually an interest table where you decorate the table, you try to attract attention for people who walk into the branch. And she used her skills as a party planner to decorate and set up such beautiful tables and arrangements that she was actually nominated for an award. Like, she became so prominent in the community. Everybody wanted to make sure she came to their branches, help set up their own arrangements. So she actually utilized her skills, and she was able to gain visibility in the job industry just using these skills. She's now become a multicultural champion. That means she advocates for multiculturalism in our work environment. And that was just maybe a skill where she was a party planner. So you need to reflect on skills, anything that can make you stand out. And it's not as if you don't have experience. So what things you're good at, so you might say, okay, I've just been studying my entire life. It's been one degree, one diploma, one course after that. How do I showcase critical thinking? How do I showcase research, attention to detail in my experience? Because I don't have experience. So does that mean no experience, no job? No, you utilize your skills and basically talk about what you've done. Maybe you were into sports all your life. That means you displayed leadership, you displayed trust, you are someone who's very dependable. Maybe you were an event planner. That means you can handle projects, you can do time management, you can volunteer at events. So just as an example, there was a specific person, like a person who's now a banking advisor like myself. He's very young, just out of college. he was able to reach out to one of the community managers through networking. Obviously, he volunteered at a job fair, like he volunteered at an event, and he had met the community manager there. They were able to exchange emails. He followed up with her. So he actually followed up with her for a complete year. Like she would tell him, okay, call me back within 3 months. He would do that. Then she would tell him, call me back again till he got an opportunity. So he showed determination per se. So it's just these skills and qualities that you have that can actually help you stand out. And that's what we're trying to do today. We're going to make sure that at least we have those 3 skills set up and we have some sort of a plan for you in the future, so that you know that this is one thing that's ticked off, and then we're going to do the next thing. So let's go to the next slide. So the first thing, and when I looked at this slide, I was like, yes, I would love to help everyone here end up getting a job. So I don't know if you can answer, but yeah, I mean, I think the first thing that everyone wants to get out of this conversation is definitely some sort of tips on work or career related experience. So I'm here to share my experience. Please ask me any questions in the Q&A, and I can tell you a bit about my journey and what are some of the things that worked out as positives and some of the things I wish I had known before. And definitely, we're also here to help you on your next step towards, looking for a job. So it's not just about what we're talking about today. It's about having a concrete plan. We're definitely going to help you find out what you're good at, but that has to come through introspection. And again, it's not linear, right? It doesn't have to be, okay, so I am actually having a finance background. Like I did my master's in finance. I am a certified internal auditor as well. So when I came to Canada, the aspect of being in sales, speaking with people, communicating with them, explaining to them was a bit daunting to say the least. But while we'll go through the skill set, I'm actually going to get a paper and pen. So that's what I'm going to recommend everyone, get a paper and pen ready for our exercise. And we're going to draw on some elements on a workbook that is available on the RBC Future Launch site. Maybe at the end of the discussion, I can share a link, or we can send you the link in the email later on. But it is freely available on the website, and that's like a playbook, and that'll actually help you on your next steps. So let's start off with just saying that if you're looking for a job, there are certain ways that RBC can definitely help you with that as well. Upskilling is obviously the first thing that we want to look at, but we have other things as well. So on the Future Launch site, there is something called Refer. Refer basically helps you look up your skills. It gives you opportunities for mentorship, internship, those kind of opportunities. RBC also has an early talent HR team that specifically goes to universities and scopes out talent. Through early talent acquisition, we have something called as career launch. We've seen students who come into RBC, they have the opportunity to work for 1 year across various departments, and then they can actually choose what they like. So those are opportunities there. One of the greatest things I wanted to talk about was that if you're still looking for that human interaction, there are newcomer-specific branches in RBC. There is something called the meeting place, RBC meeting place in Brampton, and they have excellent advisors who you can actually ask anything about your career progression, your career goals as well, and they'll be happy to help you and put you in the right direction. We definitely are looking for more of these virtual appointments versus like maybe face-to-face, but that's definitely another avenue. The other thing is LinkedIn is a great opportunity as well. If you like, you can go ahead and follow me on LinkedIn. I follow a lot of the talent acquisitors and the innovators at RBC. And if there are any co-ops, any placements, that's available at, they're posting it and I'm following, so that comes up on my feed as well. And something that might really interest you is RBC very soon is going to come up on Instagram. We'll be posting about Future Launch on Instagram as well. It's not approved as yet, but we're looking at that. So maybe that's where, we can connect as well. So another, networking opportunity. So hopefully we should have some idea what we're looking to do today. And that's what kind of utilize and set up some skills for ourselves. So we're also going to go through a couple of videos more, hopefully, if we don't have any more tech issues. We're looking to have fun. I mean, you can ask me any questions that you want to ask me, and I definitely will answer that. We'll probably leave that towards the end. But yeah, our focus is today just to give you something like a takeaway so that, once you've gone through this workshop, you feel that, okay, I spent this time, I've got that one tick box done. Now I'm set up to, really talk about myself. A lot of times when you are looking to network, the first question, somebody might ask me, hey, so welcome to Canada, great to see you. Can you tell me a bit about yourself? So, I mean, we want to talk about what your achievements are for sure, like what you've done, your studies, but you also want to reflect and show that, through your experiences outside of studying as well, your volunteering, your even through your studies as well, right? What are the skills that you can bring to the table, maybe impress someone so much that they give you another hearing as well. So a lot of times, youth specifically, and not just youth, newcomers, anybody who's doing a new thing. Like for me, like it's they say that you have to be uncomfortable to learn something new. I feel I'm uncomfortable every day because I'm always learning something new. So we want to channelize these feelings of being scared or just confused. We want to be energized and excited. At RBC Future Launch, we also want to focus on mental health. Let's not forget about mental health. This is a time which has led to a lot of anxiety. Specifically for me, when I was at the branch, the aspect of meeting a lot of people did lead to a lot of anxiety or what's going to happen in the future. But reports are positive. Obviously, we can't predict the future. I was just reading a report today, spending is up on obviously groceries and spending is up on consumer goods. So things are looking up. It probably will take some time to go back to the pre-pandemic levels, but there are ample opportunities because earlier we weren't doing things digitally. We were probably not doing, a lot of avenues were being left unexplored. Maybe I couldn't go and attend an ACCES course because it was too far for me. Now I have the opportunity to do that. So a lot of things are available now in terms of opportunities, and specifically now, like for example, for myself, like I wanted to reach out to someone and I wanted to speak with them earlier. There would be something like having a coffee. That means meeting someone physically face to face and having a discussion with them, like maybe an informational interview. But sometimes the times would not align. But now I'm finding that people are more accessible to kind of giving out their time and information. And I was able to talk to actually 2 or 3 people over a virtual coffee. And it just was a great experience because everyone's staying safe, staying home, but they're able to kind of do more. Like for me, example, I'm sitting in a branch in Whitby right now. I probably may not have had the opportunity to come down to an Access Employment office or some other office and kind of talk to people. Maybe we were to limit the number of people. It's just increasing our opportunity to kind of connect with more people. Let's go to the next one. So just going to see if we can share another video. I'm just going to upload that. I'm just going to do that for a second. And then we'll actually go over trying to shortlist skills. We'll go over how we can actually, create a story for ourselves, like just be authentic, but just be someone who can, genuinely talk about themselves and, showcase their skills. Like for me specifically, sometimes I get feedback from my manager that, I'm not able to accept praise that well, or maybe, I'm not showcasing myself that well, because it's not about just being in one profile. We're always looking for more movement, right? So it's not a linear path. So that's why it's important to showcase yourself, highlight yourself, just to be prepared. So when we talked about youth not feeling prepared, I mean, it's the mental confidence as well that can take you to the next level. I'm just going to see if I can upload that video very quickly. We're just going to talk a bit about some skills that are important, and then we'll just have a brief discussion, and then I will move you on to the next activity for sure. Okay, perfect. So one of the things that they said there was um, trying to find out what are the jobs that are available in the labor market. So I would recommend that after the discussion, if everyone wants to go over to the RBC website and look up the refer part, it actually, when you put in that your specific age and what you're looking for, it'll actually take you through the entire steps where you can mention the kind of interest that you have, and then you can rate yourself on the scale of 1 to 10, and then it'll actually recommend jobs, and are those jobs in demand or not. So that's another thing that you can actually look at. So let's see if, and we've already talked about all this. So basically, I think the most important aspects on this is that we need to identify who we are, what we can bring to the table, what is our skill, what makes us tick, what we can actually do, which is better than anybody else. And you want to walk the talk. So with this kind of confidence, you can actually demonstrate. So as I said, you could have demonstrated critical thinking and research and attention to detail when you were doing all your presentations in school as well. And it's about taking the long-term view as well. We're going to focus on some sort of interest today, try to finalize a plan for you in the future. But again, it's ever changing. It's not going to be remaining the same or what it was earlier. So I'm going to actually start off with talking about a specific person here. We're going to go over what opportunities that person could have, and then we're going to go ahead and start writing for opportunities for yourself. I have my paper ready. I tore it out of a notebook, but yeah, you can keep your paper ready or on the laptop, and definitely go ahead and download the playbook from the RBC launch, but we don't need to do that right away. We can just focus on what's available on the slides and just do a bit of introspection to finalize a couple of things. This can help you in the next step towards launching a career. So basically, when we're looking at Aiden, who's a typical youth, he has certain interests, he has abilities, he has his values, and there are some qualities that he has. So when we go over this, we could potentially say that Aiden could be something like this. But when I go over his qualities, with my experience as well, and with you, you could also see that there are other options that he could take as well. So let's say that he likes to be in the outdoors. Who wouldn't? He is an avid internet surfer. He likes music. Um, he values integrity and loyalty and justice. So all the institutions obviously have a code of conduct where they expect you to interact with integrity, and that's something you could re-emphasize as well, right? Your values could also be helping you align to an institution's values, or their mission statement. So for example, there's an institution that specified that their goal is or to make sure that they are in the client's path. And when I applied for an opportunity there, that's what I aligned. I said that I value customer interaction and making sure that I provide customer satisfaction, and I want to be in that path. Using those keywords can also help you in the networking path. Similar to this, like when I was talking to someone about a certain opportunity, I worked on my branding, which is what we're looking at today, are defining our interests and skills. But I also did a bit of research, and that's where you're being internet savvy, you're tech savvy, able to kind of glean information. You can come up with numbers, and that could literally blow the person away because they see that that person has put in a lot of time and effort. And yes, if that person is so research and attention oriented, that means that that person could be a good fit as well. So you don't, just doing a bit of research on the organization can help you actually showcase your interest and your skills more. So basically, Aiden likes public speaking, he likes to play musical instruments, he likes coding, he's a curious, positive, and a person who's jovial, a good fit in any organization. Looking at this, Aiden could be a blogger. And I'm not sure if Sonia can help you, can anyone maybe type in and say what other opportunities Aiden could potentially be good for? Maybe if someone just wants to type it in.
So you can type it into the Q&A tab. Yeah, some people are doing it too.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, he can be a musician, he can be a reporting analyst for sure. He's good at coding. He is good in public speaking, so that definitely means that he has got some good communication skills. And he actually, someone says sales as well, so that's actually true. I mean, public speaking, being confident, that's one of the greatest skills that you can value in sales as well. So definitely looking at this, you're not just stuck to one sort of an opportunity. There are various opportunities that you can look at. So what I'm actually going to do is we are going to look at the playbook now, and I'm going to open that right now. And this is available on the website, and hopefully we can share some information on this, but this can be downloaded easily as well. So we've gone through what Aiden has set up, this quadrant, and that's what I want actually everyone to do today. I have my own paper here. Maybe Sonia wants to do it as well for herself. There's always opportunities. So I want everyone to just kind of take 2 minutes. We'll go over all these slides. We'll take 2 minutes to go over each slide. Maybe we can create our own plan today, and then maybe a couple of people can share what their plans or what their future looks like once we're done with all these slides. So let's start off with identifying some of your interests. So I'm not saying let's do 10. Let's just do maybe 4. And then, this you can always revisit when you're looking to make any changes. So I'm going to take a couple of minutes and write down my own stuff, and then we'll move on. So we're looking to identify values. So is everyone able to see the entire slide? Perfect. So when I'm talking about something like career or job security, this could be a path, this could be a defining part for you in your career path. Like, for example, I'm a banking advisor. So I help clients with specific banking transactions. In Canada, there is a definite demand, and just there is something called as mortgages, where clients will basically buy a home and the bank will finance their home. So a career progression for me could be a mortgage agent as well. But the mortgage agent profile is a commission based profile. So that means that there isn't any guarantee that I will be earning a salary or not. So when you look at your values, if something like a career, job security, or maybe a monthly paycheck is important to you, you may not choose to go the mortgage agent or a commission role path. But if someone who's ready to take on the risk, then they might go that path as well. So I'm just putting here as well that maybe for me, variety or change could be something that I like, because I want to make sure that I'm just not doing the same thing again and again. And for me, having fun again could be important. So I'm just writing down a couple of my qualities that I want and the values, and then we'll move on to the next slide. And if anyone wants to download those pages, they're available at the RBC Future Launch website. The first slide is when you're looking to start your career. It's available. It's a playbook, and we'll try to definitely send you maybe the link for this as well. So let's look at the abilities. So abilities, are things that you feel that, you could be good at. It could be as simple as learning new things. An ability like learning new things is definitely something that, can really take you much ahead. I mean, you're not someone who's just stuck at doing the same things again and again. You're someone who's now looking to come up with new ideas, learn other things. Like, for example, in our profile, we were not talking to anyone over the WebEx. We didn't even have laptops. So getting a laptop, making sure we were able to set up WebExes, talking to clients over the phone, making sure that, we were talking in the right manner, we were understanding what they wanted. So that was something that I actually enjoyed. I really enjoyed my digital journey, and obviously I wanted to stay safe. So if I was to show you the back of my office, I have hand sanitizers and masks. So I really enjoy talking to people over the phone and through video. And maybe repairing things, man, that means you're good with something in your hands, maybe working with numbers. Somebody talked about reporting analyst, credit analyst. Maybe that's what you like working with numbers. Somebody who likes making crafts, I mean, that could actually be a good thing. You could be the one who would set up the displays in the branches or the offices. You could take up, helping people do rewards and recognition. So there's a person here who actually remembers. Yeah, I hear someone saying, I like working with numbers, so that's exciting. I have someone in my branch who really makes it a point to make sure that if anyone's birthday is coming up, she is coming up. She is, decorating their offices with balloons and things like this. So these small things can make a lot of difference in your work environment. These are your abilities. You can talk about them. And these actually are very positive things. Like, definitely you want to be saying problem solving. You want to be saying public speaking, but things like, yeah, you're good at, making crafts. You could help in recognizing staff if it's their birthday, if it's their 15th anniversary, work anniversary. You could set up and decorate the entire room with balloons and glitter and, things like this. This is what makes you stand out. And let's go to the next one. So identifying your qualities. This is extremely important. I mean, you can say, I'm good at what I do. I know, but can you specify or highlight 2 or 3 qualities? So if you were meeting someone at a networking event, so for example, it's a job fair and you go and you see someone and you're like, I am really excited about, working at your institution. My name is Gia, and, really looking forward to interacting with you. She's like, yeah, okay, fine, Gia, I'm excited to meet you too. But can you tell me a bit about yourself? And then I'm like, well, I have a bachelor's in accounting. I have a master's in finance. I've been in Canada for so many years. Well, that sounds really exciting, but what makes you special? Like, are you someone who's a dreamer? Yeah, why not? Like, I think I could put that down. Like, I'm a dreamer. That means I like to think of new things and, do more. Like, it's not just about me being just, doing what is required. I want to think of new things. Am I sympathetic? Yes, that's important. In a position like a client advisor or a banking advisor, being empathetic with your client's needs, that could be important as well. Are you a leader? Yes, that sounds exciting. Really good. You could be someone who's cheerful. That adds on to a good work environment. People like to have that energy. So a lot of times what we're expecting from the youth is to bring that energy into the room, right? That excitement of doing things for the first time, just asking questions, being curious. That's just you being you, right? But that's a great quality. So I want to move to the next one. So this is where I want you to kind of create a quadrant for yourself, like prepare your personal profile. So at the end, maybe I'll have a couple of people highlight maybe their interests, their abilities, and it's an exhaustive list, right? What you feel today in the moment may not be what you feel 6 months down the line. Maybe you've been networking and it works out for you. This works out. It's like your elevator pitch. Maybe you reached out to me on LinkedIn and you said, hey, can we do a virtual coffee? Yeah, that's exciting. So the first question is, okay, I'm really happy to meet you. Let's talk a bit about yourself. How can I help you in your career progression? If you were to give me your abilities, your qualities, and your values, I mean, I would be like, yeah, that's exciting. This person has done the research, put some time into what they want to do in life. They're prepared, they're organized, they've spent some time upskilling themselves, then they've done a few courses. Maybe I can keep them in mind, or I can refer them to the next person, like a talent acquisition person, or if there's like a job that's come up and you're like, hey, I would also like to apply for that. Yeah, maybe I could do the connection. So as an example, it's not I'm doing that right away, but like if someone you reach out to or network, that person can help. So what I did, like I wrote down what I would basically want to do. So my interest was basically, I have a finance background, so finance was my interest. I'm excited to learn new things. I like discussing current events, like things like I am always excited to go and see what's happening, what's new, is there any news coming in the organization, just talking about that, and I like to help solve problems. So my values are like that. I like to contribute to society. Maybe you do as well. Like a lot of youth is now giving back to the economy and giving back to the to everyone else, like just by making sure they're volunteering. So that's exciting. I like variety. I like change, and I like to have fun. My ability is that I like to learn new things. Anything that's new, exciting, I'm always passionate about that. And I want to be cheerful. Like my quality is like I'm sympathetic. So if I was to look at this, I it's it is something on the lines of what I've been thinking as well. Like maybe my next progression could be I could be a mortgage agent, somebody who just wants to talk about houses and loans and credit. Maybe because I've built up on my profile as well. So on this, maybe is someone okay to share if someone's written down? If anyone wants to share what they feel their interests and abilities are, and they feel what could be a progression for them. Okay, I see somebody typing. So uh, it could be like you don't have to write like 10 things, maybe three. Maybe just type it in. That'll be fine. Yeah. So somebody said traveling, meeting new people, solving problems, that's something that they like, working with numbers. So these could indicate that, leading groups. So yeah, skills. Somebody said cooking and trying food. So that's actually a great skill as well, and interest. Yeah. Honesty. Yeah, that's a great quality. Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully this can help you kind of see what your interests could be. And someone saying their interest is financial modeling, someone says convincing. So if you're talking about saying maybe your interest or maybe your abilities that you're okay to convince someone, maybe you could be in an audit field as well. Like when you are doing an audit and you find out that these are the discrepancies, these are the deficiencies, you can actually talk with them and convince them, yes, so these are the things that are deficient, here's how we can make them better. Business planning, yeah. I hear some people who have some good experience at other institutions as well. So planning. So these are things that sound to be on top of mind as well. But we want to be, kind of also taking an honest step. We want the story that you talk about when you talk about your personal profile to sound very honest, sound with conviction. And someone says that they like to listen to customer issues. So you could be a business analyst. Somebody who looks to resolve customer issues can be a business analyst, because clients have issues and then you can help them resolve their issues as well. Somebody talks about ethics. Ethics is important as well because, all the institutions, they want people who are ethical person in a sales profile it's excellent. I mean, that's what the institutions want. So this is just a way where we can kind of shortlist and create a sort of a personal profile. I want you to focus more on your personal skills and less on what your degrees are, like more of what you can derive from your degrees. Okay, so I did a master's in finance. Through the master's in finance, I had opportunities to present to my colleagues. Like I did research, I did presentations, I was able to lead teams. So derive on your experiences from your education as well. If you don't have enough experience to work, if you have experience in work, excellent. Definitely also talk about maybe your volunteering opportunities. Volunteering is actually a great opportunity for you to learn skills and give back to the community. There's nothing which is more gratifying than the ability to give back. And you can learn so much more. Like with this opportunity, I'm so excited to be meeting everyone and then kind of learning a bit about themselves and kind of bringing everyone onto the next page towards the next step in their career. So I also want you to focus on what your future plans would be. So you've decided what your interests, abilities, and qualities are. And then based on that, you can look at a couple of job opportunities. As I said, go to the Refer website, go to ACCES and see what kind of courses are available, see what outcomes could be, because you always want to be looking at a couple of opportunities rather than just one. And this is where you can, talk about yourself. Try to get feedback from someone who's known you for a long time as well, just to prepare this elevator pitch as well. It should be something that should just flow out naturally, right? Because you don't know who the next person you're meeting is, that person can take you to the next level or the next step in your career progression. So I specifically want to mention here for newcomers, because I've been through that path as well. Sometimes it's very difficult to align the timings and maybe location. So virtually, it's an exceptional opportunity for you to kind of volunteer, and that's a value that is really dear to the Canadian heart. People really appreciate volunteering, and that's exceptionally exciting also to do. So that's a great way for you to get the skills as well. Like we have usually at RBC, we usually volunteer at like a market, like it's a fair, like a spring fair or an autumn fair, things like that. And we sometimes have a banking advisor dress up as Leo the lion. That's the mascot for RBC. So one of your experiences could be, hey, I was Leo the lion, and I interacted with small children. I was able to keep people entertained. That's an experience. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your future plans as well, because the other thing is when you're looking to approach people, they're going to ask you what you're interested in. Like it's important to say, okay, these are the specific skills. So yeah, I do see a question who was saying that, we'll talk about the question and answers for sure. And we'll definitely talk about what are these skills and what are the good job opportunities, and what are the best ways that, you can get these opportunities. And we'll talk about whether banking is a good industry to get into for sure. No problem. I want to basically talk about this. This is very important. I want you to understand you are not alone. We are here with you. We're here with you for your mental well-being, making sure you have the confidence, you have the skills. Skills, you can go on the website, you can learn all those things. You can try to get virtual internships. You can try for co-ops. There are sometimes scholarships as well, but you need to have a plan. So at the end of this workshop, I want to make sure that everyone has written down, either in the laptop or on a paper, somewhere, that they've written down what their next steps are going to be, and stick with this plan for some more time. So when you land in Canada, or if you've already landed in Canada, there's just a sea of information out there. So don't want you to go alone on that. I want you to have a concrete plan based on your interests. So, I mean, if you're interested in finance, yes, that's really good. But what in finance? So if you're interested in banking, yes, exciting. What in banking? So banking could be credit cards, could be sales, could be anything like it could be even mortgages. So you need to do a bit more research based on your interest, and then definitely upskilling yourself through courses. There are specific courses that may be required. You may not want to invest in those courses right away, depending on your interest. But you're not constrained by that itself, right? You are also talking about the skills and the experience that you've picked up along the way while you've been working. Working at getting a degree, working at moving to Canada, and just your entire process. But you want to be ready with that experience, just that experience story of yours. And I definitely want you to write down your next steps, what you could potentially do. So the next steps would be you could go to the RBC website, the Future Launch website, Future Launch at Home. You could go to the ACCES Employment website. You could reach out to someone on LinkedIn. You could try to find out if you could do an internship at some place. You could see if you could apply for a scholarship. Who are the people you can reach out to? Maybe you find out under LinkedIn, you say who are the right people. Maybe there's someone in RBC and someone in CIBC, some other institution who can help you with this, and what's your timeline. It's important also to have a plan. So the main objective here is that you have your value story ready. You've prepped for yourself. That has also given you an idea to introspect on what skills you have, right? Like what could be an interest for you. Maybe you're interested in being a consultant for an institution. Maybe that's your interest. Maybe when you went over this, out of 10 things, you want to be basically highlighting 4. So let's not focus on 10 things. Let's focus maybe on 2 or 3 of them and then try to target it through that. And then, so this obviously can be, this is the way that you tell your story, your own personal story. What you're good at, what you value, what you're interested in, what your experiences, and what you look forward to developing. So it's great to have aspirations, using all this information which is available, and then interacting with your mentors. You can sign up to be having a mentorship. There are a lot of resources available, so you can be under a mentorship with someone who can guide you through their experience in their newcomer story as well. Like with me, I had the opportunity to speak and reach out to some people, and when I first started, I thought maybe, anti-money laundering could be what I wanted to do. Then I wanted to do audit. Then I wanted to do this. So I needed to basically introspect and kind of find out what my strengths were, what really interested me, and then how I could tie what my experience also has brought me at RBC, right? So then for me, I felt that maybe a mortgage agent could be the next career progression as well. And that's what I'm right now talking about as well. So the focus is also on networking. So the important thing is, I want you to focus on the point that networking is an ongoing opportunity, and it's not all about what's in it for you. It's about a mutual collaboration. It's always exciting to network with people, learn about their experiences, and these are also called as informational interviews. And that's a great way for you to go the next route as well. So if you are able to gather some information, you can speak about that experience as well. Like I reached out to someone and they told me about, and that was an anti-money laundering, and they told me about the first line, second line, third line of defense. And then I used that verbiage in my resume, sent invites to someone, or I wanted to talk to someone when I had the interview, I used first line of defense, third line of defense. So that actually kind of got a lot of, meat onto what I was trying to say. So it's always about, tell me a bit about yourself, and then you can get all of this information from that people. And make strong connections, keep in touch, and, always look out for more opportunities. And you can, so I want you to start right away with your friends, your coworkers, your teammates, somebody you know, reach out to them, start this conversation, start prepping on your skills. I would love to, I've had some feedback, I've looked at the questions and answers, I've seen people have been finalizing their skills. So definitely want to learn more about that. I think pretty much, let's go back here. We're almost at the end of our discussion here, and let's see if I have something left over, and then just having a bit of technical issues. Just a second. Okay, so I think you know what? Let's move on to the question and answers. And if I have any other, I have a couple of videos to share, but I'm just having some technical issues here. I'll go over the videos. Those are the last couple of videos when we have the time. So if Sonia's okay, we can open it up to question and answers.
Yeah, we sure can. So I'm going to pop open the Q&A here. All right, so everyone who is interested in asking questions, you can start typing them into the Q&A, and I'll start taking the most recent questions that are typed at the bottom over here. So, all right, we have a question here is, does RBC Future Launch apply to mature job seekers over 50 years of age as well?
So Future Launch is a program specifically for youth 19 to 29, but there are other opportunities as well. Like just recently, I found there was an opportunity about people who had taken a break from their careers, or people who want to integrate back into capital markets. There are other options as well, but the Future Launch is specifically targeted towards youth.
Thank you. And after applying to a job at RBC through a referral link, what is the best way to follow up with the status of an application?
So if you've applied through the website, you might try to find out on maybe LinkedIn, see if there is someone's name or some specific department where that person is working, see who the people are. And then you can always reach out to a few people and say, I was interested in knowing more about your profile or knowing more about what the department does. So look at it more as an informational interview kind of an opportunity rather than just asking them to kind of say, okay, hey, can you refer me ahead? So probably do your research and find out what department it is, see if there are a few people on that department, and then reach out to them. See if you can gather more information maybe about that department, what are the kind of what work are they doing there, and then that can be used out, when you have an interview, you can use that information when you speak about your experience as well.
Thank you. And what is the hiring process lead time? Like, do you know how long it takes?
So I unfortunately cannot speak of the hiring process. It takes a long time. So specifically in Canada, I just want to reiterate, it could take some time because depending on the number of applications, there's always first a job posting is put out, then it closes in a certain period of time, then applications are reviewed, then the interviews are done, and then you kind of decide. So depending on the closing date internally, it could be anything from 30 days to 60 days as well. So there's no lead time. It also depends upon, just how well you strike a conversation. So supposing you had an interview and your value story and, it just worked out so well, and you might just get an opportunity faster as well. But there are no definite timelines. And if you're looking at targeting, early acquisition, early talent, these kind of positions do close early on because if there's like a fall opportunity, fall 2021, they have these specific timelines. So I can't say what specific timelines there are, but yeah, it could be 30 days, 60 days, just depends.
Thank you. And is it a good idea to ask a new connection on LinkedIn for a referral for a job?
I would say, again, as I just spoke about it earlier as well, it's more important to gather information and, look at strengthening your own value story. I mean, even no one would be able to give you a job without knowing about you, right? So it's important to just start that conversation, ask for an informational interview, and then when that person says, hey, okay, I've talked so much about myself, now can you tell me a bit about yourself, when you're well prepared with your skills and your quality quadrants kind of a thing, that's when you make an honest connection. So, I mean, you're not probably the only applicant. There are going to be multitude of applicants. You want to be standing out. So the best approach would be to go for an informational interview and then showcase your own self as well.
Thank you. And is the Future Launch Champion program suitable for CPA people who have
Yes.
CPA?
Yes, that's correct. Actually, perfect. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I actually saw it on the website as well. When you go on the Future Launch program, there are various opportunities for CPAs as well. So I think you go on to learn new skills, or there are opportunities for maybe internships and things like that. But definitely, there's actually a specific place for CPAs as well. So yeah, I would say do your research.
Thank you. And oh yeah, so if you've set up an informational interview with someone and you want to follow up with them, is it okay to ask or?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it never hurts to ask, right? So again, as I mentioned, ask. You may not receive. Be determined. Like that one person I spoke to followed up with a manager for 1 year. So it may not be the time for you. It may be a hiring freeze. It could be COVID-19. Hopefully never again. But yes, definitely. Like if you've asked for an information interview, that person may not have gotten back to you because they could be caught up in other things as well, right? So you might want to reach out to a couple more people, but always just say that okay, we could not connect. I'm still open for a discussion whenever it's a convenient time for you, and just be determined and keep at it. So as I said, it took him 1 year to get the job. And he started when he was in school, right? So as soon as he graduated, he got an opportunity. That shows your determination. Yeah, that's your quality.
Sounds good. Okay. And do you have any advice or maybe some information that could help people who have had a gap in their career?
Yes. So a gap in the career is not something that you really need to feel constrained about. That's what we're talking about upskilling yourself. There are various programs, and I'm sure Sonia will also talk about bridging programs. So you have opportunities to upskill yourself. Some of these programs do allow you the opportunity to do internships as well, where you can get experience. And there are specific programs like going back to the capital market. That's a program that was there specifically for people who were in capital markets but who've had a gap of more than a year. So there are specific programs for gap years as well. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, if you go onto the Future Launch website, you'll find opportunities. So anytime you're looking for something, it's divided into 4 quadrants. Like whether you're looking to upskill yourself, you're looking for a job, you put in your age, you put in your interest, and it'll actually populate all the information that is available to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I think that this is, oh, we have one more. Yeah, I think that's all the questions that we have. Thank you so much. Yeah, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I mean, I really have enjoyed, and I hope you have enjoyed as well. Please give us your feedback as well, whether this was helpful or not. And we're obviously definitely looking to improve upon our discussions. I mean, there was like a couple of slides that I couldn't go through because of some technical issues, but that's fine. I think main the emphasis was on developing your story and taking the next step forward. So hopefully you've been able to take that next step forward. And as I said, you can follow RBC employees on LinkedIn. Any jobs that come up, they'll be posted there. You can reach out to the early talent HR. They'll be going to various colleges and they'll be doing virtual events as well. You can go on the Refer website and definitely RBC Meeting Place. That's another opportunity for you. So I thank you all for your time and thank you, Sonia, as well.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was lovely having you here today. And